Is Echidna arc the Knuckles arc?
Yeah.
Yes, Joe. Thank you. Hi, welcome to the Roundabout cast, where the Echidna arc is the Knuckles arc. I am your host, Willer, the Echidna.
I am Bradley, a magical twin who lives in a mirror to someone named Brittany.
Oh,
Would
I
that
like
be the
it.
girl version of Bradley?
I guess so.
Brittany?
Yeah.
I'm Joe. I'm a Tails.
You're Miles Prower.
Okay.
Oh,
I
Joe
cannot
Miles
believe
Prower.
Tails' actual name is Miles Prower.
It's so good.
That is kind of cool.
Oh, I'm Tyler, and I'm your most recent parahuman visiting from Earth Bet.
Ooh,
Damn.
all relevant.
All relevant.
Okay.
Wait, I forgot to set my microphone volume on 69.
Yeah, you gotta do it. Otherwise, you'll be too loud.
You're right. I have a loud ass voice.
Booming Bradley over here.
That's what they call me.
Okay. Our topics
we're on
today.
69.
We're going to be talking about some Act Age, because Joe is around where I was when I first did my talk on it, which is one of our most popular videos, so
yeah.
that's good. Joe also finished Steven Universe. We're going to have a Tyler Worm section, and we're going to make Joe sit through it. It's going to be fun.
Oh, fuck.
I'll just play that.
And then we'll do some video game quickies with the time that we have left.
Any quickies?
Joe, why don't you tell us about the manga Act Age? I've talked about this before. Do y'all remember what this is?
I think it was one of our most popular videos, too.
We already said that.
I just said it.
You got points off for your submission.
I was not here for this.
That's true.
That's true.
So Act Age is about a girl named Yonagi Ki, or
Kei.
Kei Yonagi. She's essentially she's a very poor high school student that has two younger siblings, a brother and sister. I can't remember what their names are, but I don't think it really matters. But so she lives alone with them, and she has the ability to become an actor. The problem being is that she can only really act by diving deep into her own emotions and pulling them back up. They have a really good phrase in the arc that I just finished, where it's like you can dive so far deep below the ocean, but you can't pull anything back up, and you need to learn how to do that, which I thought was a great way of explaining how her acting depth goes, and that if you go too far, you can drown yourself.
To simplify things, this is an acting non-battle battle shonen.
Yeah,
manga.
And so far, the worst thing about Act Age is that you get the first 3 chapters on Viz, and then you have to read 42 chapters.
Aww.
Or sorry, there are 6 chapters of Viz. So you have to read 41 chapters online through scanlations.
Shitty scanlations, mind you, not even the good ones.
Yeah.
There's a big barrier of entry to this series, so I'm very excited for when an anime comes out and then people will just go through there.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised, one hasn't started already.
The problem with Act Age is that there's not a lot of, clearly visual, showcases you can do, like in One Punch Man or in My Hero Academia or things like that. But I think, from what I've read so far, I think this series do really good from having anime, just being able to visualize the difference in changes and kind of scenery and the mood settings.
For example, the scene where they shoot that commercial, I could see that gaining a lot of strength from.
And you can also, and there's so much more you can do.
Or the music video, rather. Yeah. There's a lot you can
what's going on, because I feel like there's a lot of times where they show a close up of someone's face. I'm like, I don't really get anything because it's just a still image.
I don't agree with that at all. I think the art is gorgeous in this, where the art really conveys emotion better than I would say most manga.
I agree, but I feel like it just doesn't pop as much as some other things. It's not like an Oda where things just ugly cry, so you really get the conveyance of just.
They're not ugly crying, but they show some really nuanced emotions with the facial expressions.
Something I'm imagining for the anime would be the JoJo style color changes whenever she goes in and out of character.
Yeah, I can imagine that happening too. But let's see. What are the arcs that have happened so far? There's the initial arc,
the commercial and her getting her footing. There's the Death Island movie.
I think The first few arcs were really good, especially with the commercials, and then Death Island was really good in terms of like her competing. It so really showcased how this battle manga section of it
It
works.
sets up her rival character really well too.
Yeah,
Chiaya or something.
Chiyoko, something like
Chiyoko.
that.
It's been a
Yeah.
while since I've read. I haven't caught up yet.
Um, that one I really liked. It really showcases that okay, this is how the balancing act you have to do. But like, there's also this point of like where you're Nagi. A big part of the conflict is she has to learn how much she has to dive down to pull out. Essentially, like she can't just outstage the every other actor on screen because she's the background character or like she's the side character for this movie. So I think there's a lot of cool like control aspects that she has to do. Like I can't just go all out. I have to like play my role, my part.
And
that seems to be
I
big
also
conflict, I
like
feel.
until she becomes more flexible, she has to create backstories for her characters that would make the acting make sense. Like for the commercial, she's like, I have to become the kind of character that would watch a child get killed and not flinch.
Yeah.
So she invents this whole like backstory to herself of what kind of person you would need to be to act like that, which I think is really fascinating. And then she learns other skills as the series goes on to be able to act things that she doesn't understand.
The stage play arc, I think I would have enjoyed a lot more if it didn't have like every other one was like a terrible scanlation kind of thing.
That arc is so good, but it's also right deep in the scanlation hell, which is really unfortunate. That's my favorite arc, but I gotta concede that the scanlation.
Thankfully,
there.
like I got to the climax. Like the climax happens right as you get to the Viz media portions, the official translations. So you're like, oh, everything's a lot more clear now.
The themes are well stated now.
Yes, it's like I understand what's happening.
Yeah.
It took me because like for like the first few chapters, I'm like, what's the conflict here? Why is everyone upset with her? And then we're like, oh, she's not expressing enough emotions, or she's expressing too much nuanced emotions. She needs to express like emotions that you can physically see easier, which I thought was an interesting aspect.
It's such a cool setting, and like we live in this world now where non-battle battle manga are the most popular. Where Act Age was top 10 best-selling in Jump, as was Promised Neverland and Dr. Stone. So all of these non-battle series are really killing it right now.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it. I've been enjoying it a lot more since I've been out of that scanlation hell.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna see how it goes so far. I don't think I'm enjoying it as much as you are, but I'm definitely enjoying it a lot more. We're at the current arc now. I think the big thing about the stage play aspect that kind of like that I missed from the original Island part was that battle part. There wasn't really that much of like I'm trying to compete with something. It was more of a I needed to be able to do this.
Well, she wasn't competing with herself with someone else, but she was competing with herself and the director. The director was a big part, and his storyline was a big part of that arc.
I think so, but I don't think competing is the right word. I think it was just more of a learning to realize like what she needs to do to like. It's definitely a self-improvement arc more than a I'm going to prove myself better or going to prove myself to everyone else kind of deal.
Which this current arc we're in is 100% that, where it's very head-to-head.
And I don't know how far you got because she just came down from a mountain.
That's where I left off basically. Okay, Joe. We'll read together, and when we're both caught up, we'll do a little follow-up to this.
Yeah, but I've been really enjoying this arc a lot more. I think I like the turnaround where we get two old characters coming back now directly opposed to her now that were and are her friends, but now they are
also rivals.
Yeah. And then we have this other guy come in and he's just like
just steals the show, very egotistical kind of
He's
actor.
very much like what Unagi would be if she chose not to cooperate with everyone.
And yeah, he's still a good actor. So I'm interested to see more of that guy.
Yeah, I'm interested because like my first like thought process here is like this isn't going to go well because this guy is so hard to work with that it's so counterintuitive that she's worked with everyone else because at the end of the day for everyone else she's worked with they've tried to put on a really good show. You know, this guy seems to be only
more self-absorbed
and more focused on like because now what's interesting about this arc is that she's not only competing with these two other players but she's also directly competing with him,
which is her partner.
Yeah. So it's a really cool, like, it's a great personality dynamic. And I think it does this is a really great job of like balancing that whole like work relationship and like friendly relationship and rivalries and trying to outdo each other really good.
The one thing I don't like about the current arc is that chapter where she almost died, but then the chapter after that where she's like doing quote unquote magic. I thought that was like fascinating. That was really good.
It took me a while for what they were trying to get, but when she's like dancing in the fire and she's explaining, it's like, okay, she just has to. It's that whole idea of
mind over matter, maybe.
Yeah, and it's like the idea of allowing yourself to get lost in a fantasy world and believing in your fantasy setting that you're in, and not just kind of. It's like the whole idea being that to understand the character that you're in, because they're not in of our world, you have to really believe and really get into the world that they are in, or else you're never going to fully understand that character.
We've got to be like an arc or two behind, because it's been a while since.
It's we're at chapter 102, and the next chapter comes out on Sunday. Like that 102 is the current like chapter right now. We're at 71.
Okay, 72. Cool. I'm gonna go back to binging that. I think that's good for this little checkpoint. It's a manga I definitely recommend for Bradley types. I don't think Tyler would like it though. So it's definitely a Bradley manga.
There's too much character progression, Tyler. That's why.
That's not a hey. Like this is. I don't see anything about this that you would enjoy.
I enjoy acting.
Oh shit! Tyler really okay. It's fun for the whole family, the whole podcast.
I think Tyler would enjoy it.
Anyways, when the anime comes out and Tyler's like, "Y'all check out this anime that I just heard about,"
like none of y'all have still watched Run with the Wind, so.
Oh, that's true. I need to watch
it. I do owe you one. All right.
Man, that reminds me. I wanted to watch another anime this week. I started the first episode. I really liked it, and I think Bradley will really like it too.
What is it? Well, we'll just throw it in here.
It's keep your hands off of Izuken.
What's up with that? I just see the pictures of the people doing like poses.
Like synopsis of what it's about. So basically, it's about 3 girls that are trying to start their secret anime club because one of the girls is a fashion star, and her parents do not want her to do any art drawing or anything. They just want her to be a fashion star. But she's really good at character art. The other character is really good at like landscaping and world building, and so together they combine forces to like try to make their own anime world. And the third girl, she's just in it for the money, and she's like their financer. She's basically the producer and like finding the finances and trying to figure things out. I've only watched one episode, but
they're making anime.
Yeah, they're like anime girls.
They're making anime.
They're high school girls, but they want to make their own anime. So they're like drawing concept art and everything for it.
Well, I hope they reach out to a studio because 3 people cannot make a goddamn anime.
But this is one episode.
Okay, cool.
Newgrounds would beg to differ.
Well, fair enough.
I'll watch more of it, but I think the art style is very much up Bradley's style and the way that everything moves. It's pretty funny. I love the opening to it. But I'm gonna look into it more.
Hearing about this opening.
Yeah, the opening. I'll post it. I think I posted it one day. But it's made by. I think it's made by the guy that did and Crybaby, the Netflix one.
Netflix.
That's weird. That's a weird mix.
So. There's 2 animes. This is maybe derailing a little bit, but there's 2.
Derailing's fun. We got to derail more, to be honest.
There's 2 animes on Netflix right now. One of them I tried to watch, and I just generally don't think it's actually too funny. But the concept it's called Backstreet Girls Goku Dolls.
Oh god.
And this undercover mob boss makes 3 of his like stooges as punishment to undergo sex changes to become K-pop idols.
Oh, that seems problematic.
And you have these really popular K-pop girls or J-pop girls, but they're all like mobsters. So whenever they're off stage, they're like spreading their legs out, drinking and smoking like just terrible human beings.
Jesus, that's terrible.
And go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I looked at this guy. He's Masaka Uesa, and he's done Space Dandy, Adventure Time, Devilman Crybaby. He also worked on Samurai Champloo.
Is
Nice.
what did he? Is he the Is he the director? What is he?
Director of Keep Your Hands Off Isaacin, the director of Devilman
Gotcha,
Crybaby.
gotcha.
He directed and wrote and storyboarded some Adventure Time stuff. What was it? There was another one here. For Space Sandy, he was a director, writer, animation supervisor, and storyboard artist.
Prolific man. Okay, good pedigree.
But yeah, I posted the opening. But Keep Your Hands on Isaacin. I watched one episode before I went out with Tyler. I'm like, man, I really like this. This is cute and charming. I want to see more of it.
Yeah,
it's really well animated.
This is good for anime. We'll come back to Act Age when we finish this arc, and we'll probably come back to Isaacin if more of us watch it, which I bet we will. All right.
Wait, hold on.
Wait. There's more.
Just 2 more quickies.
Okay.
Get it in there.
Another thing. Apparently, it's pretty popular. It's called Pop Team Epic.
Oh, you haven't heard of Pop Team Epic till now?
I just saw it for the first time.
Oh.
And this anime, it's these cute little girls with all deep, manly JoJo voices, and it's weird.
Don't their voice actors change every episode? I think.
I don't even know. Honestly, I watched the trailer. And then there's Psyche K. I like that show.
I hear really good things about Psyche K.
That's it. That's all I wanted to talk about anime. If I say anything today, Psyche K pretty aight.
Hey, Bradley, throw something in there. We've all said things.
Everybody watch Lucky Star.
Oh my god, we're getting back to high school Bradley. Do you still like Lucky Star these days, Bradley?
I like to rewatch it, mostly probably for nostalgia.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh, that's just okay. That's just the second season. I thought they announced another season in Konosuba and they didn't.
Fuck!
I was about to be really excited.
It's just Konosuba 2, but I think that's just season 2. It is.
Speaking of anime coming out, next week we have Castlevania to binge watch.
That's true. Let's do it.
Speaking of streaming services.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
This episode brought to you by Crunchyroll.
Yeah. The final season of Clone Wars is streaming on Disney Plus. The next episode for it comes out tomorrow. So I'll have to talk about Clone Wars at one point. It's probably the best Star Wars media that's out there by far.
God damn.
I don't think anyone would ever try to argue with me on that. It's so good. Like, I think if you want to like Star Wars, that's the show you watch, because that shows you everything that I love about Star Wars in that whole series.
That or Mandalorian? You got to pick one. Which one?
Clone Wars.
Wow. I hear Clone Wars has boring episodes that people recommend you skip.
Yeah, you just skip it. Because
whose man's?
Name a show that doesn't.
It's an anthology series, so all of the episodes can basically stay on its own, except for a few arcs every now and then.
Yeah.
So you can jump around. You can go it's not even done in chronological order. Like, the first episode takes place in season 4, episode 4, I think, and then you have to watch the movie, which is blah, and then you could start season 1.
Oh, definitely sounds like the best Star Wars. Uneven, mixed, kind of shitty in places, kind of cool in other places. That's Star Wars, all right.
Season 1 is rough because they had a low animation budget, and you can really tell that they only were able to render half the episodes fully, which I think is really funny. But once you get past season 1, everything is just easy breezy good. It's really awesome, and some classic Star Wars stuff that came from that show, I feel.
All right, save it for your talk in the future.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways,
we are done with this segment now. Tyler, why don't you talk to us a little bit about Worm, where the last time we checked in on your Worm talks, you were just starting part 2. Hey Joe, you can rest easy for a little bit.
I imagine instead of going chapter by chapter, we'll just
that's not what we're doing, because Joe's still here. We can't do the full talk. So I want your hot takes on each arc. So what arcs have we covered so far? We have we did Slaughterhouse. Tyler's almost done with Echidna.
Did I talk about Slaughterhouse?
I don't know if he did.
No, I'm saying the things that you did since we last talked. So there's
I've
Slaughterhouse,
done so much.
Echidna, There's Coil 16 and such, 15 and 16.
Yeah.
And then there's early part 2, which would be like post Leviathan,
the Ward's interlude arc.
Yeah, so just give us some opinions there.
Let's see. Oh yeah, so I have this handy dandy worm chapter synopsis from forum.spacebattles.com pulled up.
Hell yeah.
Me and
Bradley
Bradley
knows
use
what I'm
those.
talking about.
No, we use that for the worm rankings that we just completely dropped.
So we get to see like the like redeveloping of the wards, and we get Weld, who's I think is a really great character.
Weld is a fucking beast.
He is like, I don't even remember who it was before him, but Weld just straight up actually has the power and the like foresight to take care of his peeps. We get some Shadow Stalker like perspective, and like she ambushes Skitter and everything, and then that's when they like get Shadow Stalker
that
back.
Regent chapter is the moment where I was like, wait, Worm is like really good.
Yeah, this is where I forgot. Like I've been so used to it now. It's like that's where we find out about Regent's power.
All of a sudden, you're just taking over bodies every arc, but this was a massive deal when I
like
first read
one
it.
of the lines that just everybody remembers is when his chapter opens up with "I'm letting you go, Regent lied." And I'm just like, oh fuck, here we go.
Yeah, I really like I really enjoy that. I think this is about the time we start to get different perspectives into the same scenarios, because then we get that entire interlude through Shadow Stalker's perspective of like in the foyer and everything when they're talking with the Undersiders. And then, like, Regent sends her home, but he's still, like, controlling her. Yeah. And it shows how far his power can reach, and that's terrifying.
Yeah, he's fucking scary.
What a good lad, that Regent.
He's a good boy.
Oh, man. We just also, like, it starts to, develop a lot of Regent's past, like, and you see, like, I think he's, like, 13 or 14. And he was like taking control of people, and
he's raping and murdering from a young age.
I didn't want to say the R word.
It's Worm.
No,
the R word exists.
Yeah, rape is the thing.
So, let's see. We have Parasite.
There's the we get started on the Slaughterhouse 9 arc, which has those really good interludes introducing all of the 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, those were great. What do you mean? Yeah. Those are some of the best chapters.
I think Parasite sucked. I think if I'm thinking back, because we get the introduction to like Dragon's armor suit.
Ugh.
And we I think we have an interlude that talks about like she can't harm people. I don't know if we're learning that yet, but like bitch betrays Skitter and they make up like 2 seconds later.
Yeah, that was a huge moment until it wasn't.
Yeah, it was like 2 seconds and it was like, okay, whatever.
Taylor's just like, you know what? She just does her whole Taylor thing after punching her.
Arc 11, I was not prepared for A through H interludes.
Those are so good.
Dude. Because like the first half of Arc 11, it's like them going to fight the merchants or whatever, and that half of the arc is like, but these fucking interludes, holy fucking shit.
So, Infestation, they all get their secret layers set up, and finally Taylor gets her terrarium room.
Yeah.
I was very excited.
Finally, the long-awaited terrarium room.
I think the one moment from the first half of Arc 11 that I really actually like is when she's just sitting in her lair sipping tea while simultaneously taking out like various groups of thugs across her territory.
That's one thing I really want to see in live action.
Yeah.
That would look great with good directing.
Other than we get the reveal on who the 9 choose as their like people, and
What are your thoughts on the 9 and I guess their candidates and all that, like as characters and how that was all set up?
I thought it was really cool that a couple of the Undersiders were chosen, and then like Taylor was like a pseudo pick.
She I feel like she becomes a candidate when Jack sees how like ruthless and capable she is around arc 14.
Yeah, I think around the time she and Jack fight in the school later on, I think he's like, "Man, I kind of wish we nominated you."
You're all right.
Nah.
Not
like you're all right, bitch.
You're all right. Don't come to school tomorrow.
That works on a lot of ways.
So we get also a very important thing is a little side note. They go on a little side quest, and they get their first taste of Cauldron.
Oh
with the merchants.
Right.
We also meet Scrub, who I don't know if he's gonna like. He's in this arc I'm currently in now in 19, but I don't know if he's ever gonna become relevant. But he exists.
You're probably like, never mind.
Yeah, I'm like,
he's in 19. We'll just say that.
Yeah. So yeah, I think and now that I'm seeing like the list out in front of me, I think it's really interesting that Hookwolf was is Shatterglass her name?
Shatterbird.
Shatterbird was Shatterbird's pick because Shatterbird ended up getting captured. And Hookwolf was the only one that ended up joining.
And Hookwolf joined because he's like, I'm going to get back at Shatterbird.
I didn't know that, so thanks.
Okay. No, he says that.
Nah.
No, Bradley, back me up. You're the encyclopedia.
I thought in his interlude, he's like, oh, well, he's like, I just want to get back at this lit girl, so I'm going to like... I don't know. I think that he had like a plan for it.
He hates Shatterbird, but she's not even in the roster when he gets picked.
I may have missed that interlude. There were a couple of interludes going through the audiobooks that the audio quality was so terrible I could not listen to them. Like, it was bad. Anyway, mostly all of them have been good. I think that might have been one of the two that I had skipped.
I will say, like, Arc 11 is where this went from like, oh, you know, I like this book to my favorite book, and I think it's specifically because of interludes A and B, which would be Bitch's interlude and then the interlude where we meet Jack. I fucking love those two chapters.
That Theo interlude is godlike.
I just got Theo's second interlude, so I'm very interested to see where.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh shit, with that one's with Crusader and stuff like that.
Yeah. So we have Arc 12 Plague, where they all start like the heroes and the villains. They're like, "Hey, yo, we gotta team up to take down Slaughterhouse," and everybody's like, "F you, Undersiders!" And then we get Imp. Imp's finally here.
Yeah, she's like
the reveal of Imp, I think.
Part of the team.
Yeah. And she's like, "Nah, I'ma chill." And then she just like, they make the Undersiders leave and somebody else, Travelers
probably.
Oh yeah. And like it's really frustrating for them too because Coyle is also at that meeting, but he can't like back them up.
That was a good meeting.
Yeah. So we get Mannequin versus Taylor, round 1.
Good fight, pretty good.
And the Shatterbird singing part.
That was one of my favorite chapters up to that point, where Taylor is rushing to her dad's house.
Yeah.
It was very tense, and I felt actually proud of Taylor for maybe the first time in the book where I was like, man, you're a goddamn hero right now.
Dude. Go
ahead.
I was saying like a little bit, I think like the chapter or two before that, or like the chapter right before that where she sings, because you know, like I think Jack like warned them that Shatterbird was about to do her song in a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That whole chapter was fucking awesome to me because they just finished. I don't think any of them have actually run into the 9 yet, and they just have all these meetings where they're basically like, okay, we don't know how to deal with these guys yet, but we kind of have a plan. And the second they walk out of their meeting, they see like all of the strongest members standing right there, and Jack just fucking smiles, and they're just like, no.
It was like, oh god, that was great, because then I realized, I think what happened at that point, that was when we realized that their bodies were augmented, and that they were not as weak as they looked. Because I think Imp tried to like hack the little girl, and
she
like
tries
nothing
to
happened.
slit Bonesaw's throat or whatever, and Bonesaw just like, she takes it.
Bonesaw just like side turns, is like, bitch.
Yeah, she's just like, ow.
Yeah. So Skitter wins round 1
by bukaking mannequin with webs.
KO by Bukake.
And she gains a little bit of new power, you know, being able to manipulate smaller objects, and she learns web slinging. You know? So, yeah, we get the interlude, Jack interlude, where he kills all the merchants, and we see how terrifying, like, the 9 are as a unit.
Yeah, that interlude is when Jack started becoming one of my favorite characters, because I really like the way that he maneuvers manipulating each of the 9. He goes through each one. He's like, oh, this is what's at the core of their body, and this is kind of how I go about manipulating them.
And you know what? Now that you say that, it makes me think back to the limo chapter when Coil and the Undersiders and Travelers are all riding through the city, and Coil's sitting there like, I know how to manipulate each one of these people and what they want.
He's like, bitch, I can give you places to take care of your dogs. He's like, oh, Brian, like, if you work with me, your sister's going to get everything she needs. Like,
very Scooter.
All these people.
Very pseudo Slaughterhouse 9.
Oh, damn.
It's also, like, it's very well explained by his power, how he's able to get all these right answers.
Let's move on to Snare, where they get attacked more by the 9. The Travelers and Circus, like, at this point, Circus was still around, and I was like, okay. Like,
I forgot who Circus was for
exactly.
a long time.
I did too. I forgot she showed up that one moment to hit Aegis, I think.
Yeah.
And Arms Master, and I was like, okay.
Okay.
We also got the Assault and Battery interlude at the end of Plague, and I was like, that was a nice interlude, but I like the ones with the hero backstories. They are interesting, because then we get Aisha's, and I'm like, I'm sorry, that was the most boring thing I could have never cared about ever.
You didn't like the Aisha interlude?
I mean, it was cool when she invades the 9 and, like, tracks them down, and then, like, Cherish and her team up, but I still, even then, important, but I don't care.
For me, the battery interlude is maybe the least important interlude. It's the first one I would cut if I think
if I had to cut one, maybe the battery one, just because I think you can survive.
The thing I like about Aisha is that it makes a nice tie to how she feels in her home life, tied to her power, and like that struggle of wanting to not be noticed and wanting to be noticed, and her mom just never really listens to her and just keeps going down the bad road that she's going down.
We get Mannequin versus Skitter round 2, and he's got his Akimbo model 1992s.
Blat. Yeah. Shoot a dog in the back.
Yeah, he's got his Akimbo models. But he FFs at 15, and then Burnscar shows up.
Ooh. Yeah, they just tag out.
Yeah. So they do that.
And this was a tense moment when they tagged out, because Burnscar is immediately like, hey, bitch, your test is to kill your friends. And Taylor looks over at Rachel, and Taylor is like, she's thinking about it. She's really thinking about it.
I forget how they get out of that one.
How do they get out of it?
Yeah. Who knows?
Wait.
Taylor shot web.
Yeah.
She gathered her swarm.
I think they all, like, barely escaped.
Yeah, however they got out of it probably started with, I reached out with my swarm.
Taylor, for her part, was focusing on the enemy.
So this is when Grue gets captured, and I'm like,
ooh.
Yo, finally.
Yeah,
the long-awaited.
I'm like, finally. And technically, I was correct. Technically.
Yeah. It would have been better if he died here, because oh my god, what Bonesaw did to him, pretty bad.
Yeah.
He's pretty much never the same after this.
Yeah, and you know, I actually just had an interlude in the Theo interlude that gives some insight to that.
Second triggers.
Yeah. So Brian gets his second trigger event being tied to a refrigerator.
Yeah, I think the longest break that I took in my reading of Worm came after the refrigerator chapter. I think I was just like, I'm gonna
take a break.
I was like, I'm gonna put this down for a little while.
I'm gonna go out for cigarettes and then come back.
And dude, you know what? I actually just had some insight, and I saw in the current arc that I'm on that this has actually been a nerf to Grue, a buff to his powers, and that's when we talk about Theo and second trigger events, and we like there's the theory that you no longer become a parahuman, is that it's like the powers become you. And in this fight, I'm like, Grue got nerfed as a person. Grue got nerfed because he's
broken.
and I, when we get to this fight, I'll talk about it.
Yeah,
so I'll make a mental note.
I have an important question because this was a point of contention between me and Bradley a little bit. What did you think of the miasma plotline?
Oh yeah.
I actually really liked it. Okay. Because that's very Slaughterhouse 9. Like, I don't, like, if I care about how Bonesaw does things, like, obviously, nah, like, I don't know, like, how she did that. No, I don't know what kind of tinker she is. But I'm like, okay, you cause mass confusion. Nobody knows who anybody is. And it's like, that seems the perfect way for them to escape. Like, it didn't seem, I see where it has, like, it's like twofold thing, and I feel like honestly the miasma is Jack's call and not Bonesaw's, because if it was Bonesaw, she would have just made some disease to just kill everybody, and she doesn't care if she dies. However, Jack has a much bigger picture plan where he's like, hey, we'll do it next time. We need to survive, make it do this so we can exist another day.
Possibly.
My favorite part of the miasma is specifically that it sets up these situations where Jack can try to corrupt people, specifically Taylor, because there's a big moment where Battery is on the ground, and, you know, Taylor doesn't know it's Battery. And she doesn't know that this is Jack and Bonesaw, and they're really giving her all these reasons in the world to kill Battery on the ground. Like, you know, she's pretty sure this is Tattletale, but she's not sure. And this supposed Tattletale is like, my power's telling me, yes, that is a member of the 9. You have to take them out. And so, you know, one of the big flaws with Taylor as a person is that she can be convinced, or she will convince herself to do very terrible things. Mm-hmm. But then we see here, to do these terrible things, she does have to convince herself that it is the right thing to do. I think the moment where she decides to not kill Battery is where she beats Jack in this arc, because that's what Jack is kind of here to do. He's here to corrupt people, and he could not get her to do it. Mm-hmm. He failed at manipulating her.
Taylor the Uncorruptible.
Uncorruptible. It'll never happen.
Man, Bradley, as you explained that, I realize I am actually, I guess, more chaotic neutral, because I had never made that connection about Taylor. Like, oh, she has to convince herself to do bad things, and I'm sitting here like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
maybe that's what it was supposed to do.
I will say, the first time I read through Worm and I went a lot faster, I guess I didn't think about it as much, and at any, like, I think the way one person described their read through of Worm was that at any singular moment, she kind of makes a case for why her decision is the right thing, but then you step back and look at the book as a whole, and you're like, oh my god, what has she done?
Yeah.
Well, she won this time, which leads us into the Coil section.
Prey. Which is still Slaughterhouse 9. Slaughterhouse 9 was so long, and I'm sorry, like, it hasn't been my favorite so far. It hadn't even been top 2. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So they are talking with Cherish. They have her captured. They figure out Siberian's weakness, which I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool power. And they have the whole Siberian chase sequence. And I'm like, okay, this is fun. Because, like, they can't do anything about this. There's just Siberian running around with this truck around the city.
Yeah, and like, well, we can't punch a hole through the truck because she's fucking holding it.
I loved, actually, this section, because we get Amy and Victoria together again.
Big
and
fucking yikes.
We get Amy's corruption.
Oh,
we also get Atlas, who's a good boy.
Atlas is a good boy.
Yeah, that is cool. She gets a mount.
Yeah, she does. She leveled up. And I'm like, it really shows how strong Panacea is and how scared of her own power that she is. Because she's like, oh, I am like the Slaughterhouse 9. I am, like, really strong and could use this for terrible things. And she's just scared of herself.
I think I think like twice throughout the Slaughterhouse 9 arc, Taylor has this thought, once directed towards Genesis and once towards Panacea. She's like, man, if I had your power, I'd use it so much better than you do.
Yeah. Skitter and Weld fight together. Skitter fights with the wards, and I'm like, yo, that's pretty cool.
Dude, it's fucking awesome. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm making this up, but I have this memory of after the, like, bomb strike goes off, there's, like, a red-hot Weld still trying to fight or something. He's like in the fire.
Yeah. And my favorite image is just what was his name? Crawler. Just like standing in the middle, like I love how they killed Crawler.
Yeah, they're just like, hey.
Because they're just like, hey, this will kill you. And he's like,
let's
bet. He's like, bet?
He's like, bet. And he's just like looking at the sky, praising the bomb sun.
It's so cool.
And he's just like, all right, finally.
They're just like, wow, that worked.
Yeah.
Poor mannequin. He just wanted to get away.
Let's see. Bonesaw activates the plague. We get the interaction with Bonesaw, Jack, and Taylor. Rip battery. Cherish gets tied to the bottom of the sea.
Shit happens, bitch.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I'm like, it sucks, but kind of had it coming.
Yeah.
Willer, I think that was our original shit happens bitch moment, wasn't it?
I think it somehow started before this, but it was like this was the crowning moment.
Yeah.
And then what else happened with the 9 escaping Brockton Bay? Oh, when is the interlude about Victoria and Amy? I thought that was in this chapter.
There's not Purity. What's her name? Photon.
I don't even remember her cape name. I just know her real name is Carol.
Lady Photon.
It's in the next chapter.
Okay.
So we get actually the thing that starts to reignite my interest in Worm again, because I went at a slow pace for a little bit, and now I think I've done like 3 arcs in 1 week.
You fired up, which is why that was a good time.
Set up this past week.
The Legend interlude.
Ooh!
Dude.
With Kid Win.
Dude, do you like Kid Win? Because I like Kid Win.
I like Kid Win.
Yeah.
And
what a dork.
It's really cool because he really is that just like classic truth, justice, and the American way good Boy Scout superhero, which like in a traditional superhero setting, that's not usually the most interesting character to me, but for some reason because he stands out in this story.
Yeah.
And it's fun to see him.
This interlude. So I've been thinking about this interlude and Miss Militias a lot lately. And it really is like these characters who are heroes, and it makes me compare to people who have natural trigger events, natural in quotes right now, because I feel like some shit's getting dropped soon.
Ooh, shit.
Yeah. And those who are drinking the formulas. And I feel like those who have the natural trigger events blend the lines more because they like are receiving these events through tragedy or isolation or just some extreme unfortunate event, trauma. And those who drink the vial are not, and so they're just kind of manipulated by Cauldron. They see, oh yes, everything I'm doing is right, but those who experience the trauma are able to blur the lines more, which is relevant to Miss Militia lately and this current arc where they're teamed up again, and it's like they're seeing these lines because they've experienced the lines.
I like where Tyler's head's at.
Yeah. Arc 19, pretty good.
So, yeah, we're on Colony now, which
we gotta speed up a little bit.
I'm trying.
Just for Joe's sake.
Joe's playing Monster Hunter. He's fine.
I'm playing Bioshock, thank you.
Okay, Joe's fine. 15 Colony. They all have their territories, and the Skitter assassination starts to go into effect. We also get Carol's backstory interlude, which I think it's really cool to see how fucked up Amy fucked up Victoria.
She has to go to this asylum, you know?
I basically imagine a giant featherless swan.
Ooh.
That like you can hit with a baseball bat and it doesn't move.
Why would you think of this?
Like, I don't know if she was in her final form at the point Taylor saw her, but I remember when Taylor saw her, she's like, it was all of like the features of someone that were supposed to be attractive, but were multiplied up to the point that they became more monstrous than attractive.
I think Taylor saw her as like a flesh coffin.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
and all I can think of whenever I heard that description is like some Aqua Teen Hunger Force-esque character.
Yeah.
But it's a little meatball.
Yes.
Meatwad looking ass.
Yeah, Meatwad. So the Undersiders secure Regent's territory with some interactions. They get Victor, who I'm like, I don't care about this guy.
Pretty
either.
fucked up. The one notable thing there is like Taylor fighting against like Regent using his full power, but then Regent's like, Taylor, you're so selective when you need to be.
Yeah, we have a lot of like lull Walking Dead moments where it's just a lot of human interaction and like relationship building.
Tyler's like, character development.
Yeah, I'm like,
give me a zombie.
They talk about the second trigger event with and him and Taylor make out. Oh wait, no, this is a chapter where do they do it this chapter?
They fuck.
I think they do it.
Have I already gone that far? Oh my god. Yeah, this moves so quick. I've done like 4 arcs this week.
Oh, you've crushed it.
I
Bradley,
did not realize
is this
how much
around
I
the
read.
time where you gave me that little factoid which came out not to be true about the fluids?
Well, some aspects of it are true. We'll talk about it when we get there.
Okay.
So Skitter recruits Parian, and Flechette doesn't like that, and we realize later why Flechette doesn't.
Yeah.
Taylor gets stabbed with one of the invincible needles of Flechette's. The Alexandria's background and how she got involved with Cauldron, the founding of the PRT, the Protectorate, Triumvirate, the Behemoth attack, Siberian and Alexandria. And
that's where Hero gets killed.
We get that different perspective again.
Yeah,
because we get the meeting from Eidolon, and
because it's the same meeting, isn't it?
Yeah, and Alexandria. Which also, by the way, now that I finally started reading, I'm sorry, but a lot of people pronounce it Eidolon, and I'm like, it's Eidolon.
It's Eidolon.
It's Eidolon.
It's Eidolon. Eidolon. But apparently that's like a word of God, like Wildbow said it was this way, but you know what? The guy who made GIFs calls them GIFs, so sometimes the creators are wrong.
Yeah, we're human. We're humans.
I always said Eidolon.
Sometimes your creation, you'd be wrong about your creation.
Sometimes.
They go threaten the mayor. I really like that scene because like they jump into the ant's nest, and then it's like they're in the beehive, and then she's like, oh, that's who was it? Is it Triumph?
Yeah, Triumph.
Yeah, and they're like, oh shit. And then he just starts like beating the crap and like shit just way out of hand. And you're like, the entire time you're like, who's gonna kill me?
Yeah, because the whole situation's made more tense, but it's like not only is she fighting these people, she's also convinced that the people she's on the mission with are supposed to kill her that night.
Which are the Travelers at this point. And at this point, you really don't know how morally flexible the Travelers are, so you're still wary of them.
Yeah. So that happens, and then we get the interlude with Rory Christener. Christner.
Oh yeah,
between Triumph and Prism.
Oh, this one was really good. I really like the ending of this one, where Triumph is looking out at the burned bodies of Crawler and Mannequin, trying to understand something about evil, but he isn't able to.
Ooh boy. We get Defiant in this
arc. Fucking G.
Defiant's back, and I just like how Triumph is like, yo, are we not gonna point this out?
Everyone's like winking at him. What are you talking about?
Pigo. Oh god, I hate Pigo.
Yeah.
She's bitch.
Yeah.
So we get Monarch. God, it was like reading this yesterday. I've been speeding through this.
Yeah, you went freaking really fast.
Please join us in Roundabout 35 as we discuss Arc 30 spec.
I just remember you put it was like 2 days ago. You posted in the Discord, "Hey, did Coil just blow up?"
And now I'm like, who's Coil?
Coil, you mean that piece of flesh that the seagulls are eating? Oh, we'll talk about that.
Fun fact, so the reason why I'm blazing through is I have a new job where reading is very accessible to me.
Yeah.
So we get Taylor holds a barbecue, not cooking Coil's flesh. And then the dragon squads arrive.
I didn't like the dragon portion of this arc very much.
I think the one fight that I liked was the one where because like Dragon sends a different suit after each of them. I liked the one that fights Bitch, where anytime you break part of it, it'll like eat some metal and then rebuild it. So I thought that was a cool suit.
Yeah. Second half of 16 though.
I want to talk about this interlude first because I just had information revealed to me that I did not realize.
Yeah, you talk about the Nilbog interlude.
Yeah.
Oh, that was some wild shit. Do you know who that was at the end of that interlude?
No, I just saw that. I'm like, I just pulled up the chapter again. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah. So the thing Tyler's referring to is that at the very end of the chapter, Pigo
is in a hospital.
Yeah, she meets Thomas Calvert, who we later learn is Coil. And I think the only way you would realize that this is Pigo, because it doesn't name her.
I knew it was Pigo.
Yeah, I think the only way you're supposed to know it's her is that she says a line that she says a few other times in the story where
something
she's
about
like,
the world.
Yeah, it's like the world's gone mad and I'm the only sane person left.
Yeah, and I really realized it was Pigo when she was like, oh, I didn't have a trigger event or anything, and it talked about her legs being all battered up and she was gonna like, I was like, oh, this is someone who's gonna gain a lot of weight because she's gonna be handicapped forever.
I've always really liked the Nilbog chapter because one, I think it's the first. It's weird to describe. Okay, I was about to say it's weird to describe it this way. It's an S-class threat. We get to see that isn't in Bringers or the Slaughterhouse 9. It's just kind of fun to see, like, oh, what else qualifies as being in their tier, you know?
I loved this because I really like the introduction of Nilbog.
Yeah, he's so cool. He's scary as fuck too.
All I could imagine this entire. You ever watch World War Z? Whenever they go into the military base and it's like raining, and then they have to run back to the helicopter, and like nobody survives except like two guys, and they're all like running and gunning the entire way back as they're getting. These are sprinter zombies. These aren't walking zombies. These are sprinting like form masses of like biological matter
Mix
zombies.
in a little bit of Rick and Morty season 3, where that one dude
Cronenberg's.
No, that one dude gets stuck in that magic world and then he just fucks everything.
Yeah, he like has sex with his creations to make more creations.
That was the vibe I got.
And then I don't know. I also really like this chapter because like if someone hadn't read Worm but they wanted an example chapter, I might throw this one at them just because you don't really need outside context to understand what's going on in this chapter, and it doesn't necessarily spoil anything that comes before it.
Just send them straight to 26C.
There you go. Yeah, send them straight to 26C.
This I really like this interlude. It reminded me a lot of a horror genre that I used to read back in my teenage days. And I was like, oh man, this is the gore I like. This is the terror I like. So we get the kidnapping of Pigo. They go underground. Bitch fights an immortal robot. Oh, they fight the dragon bots.
Yeah.
And all I could think of was like Megazords.
Yeah.
And it's just like they both split apart. We get Defiant following up. And I'm like, ooh, can we just get this now? I actually took a break after that because I was like, I don't want to go back to the regularly scheduled.
Yeah, I think on the Discord you were like, can we make the story Defiant and Dragon hunting down the 9?
Me and Tyler don't always see eye to eye or agree, but the fact that we both love Defiant is something that makes me very happy.
Defiant is so fucking cool.
That's my fucking boy.
I think I stopped reading for about a day and a half after that interlude because it was just like, I don't want to go back to the other stuff. I just want this now.
But you know what? When we go back, we get the finale to Coil, which is been the long running arc since 7, basically.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they Taylor and Brian did it this chapter.
Okay.
And they have the awkward morning breakfast. They do their pillow talk. Yeah. Coil attacks the debate that Taylor's just trying to have a good day with Dad. For the first time ever, trying to be a good daughter, and it's like you get to see, her dad's got friends and everything, he's living this own life, and he has to, otherwise he's gonna go
you know what
insane.
She gets? She gets what she fucking deserves.
She gets blind.
Yep.
So she goes blind, Coil dies, and I was like, did Coil just blow up?
No.
What? I really liked the conclusion of Chariot in this section. Who was the betrayal ward.
Yeah, he joined the wards, but he was actually a plant from Coil, right?
Dude, yeah, and I think the arc before that, I was like, yo, what happened to that tinker that, was a bad guy? And they're like, oh, that's Chariot. And I was like, oh, I had no clue. I've missed some significant things. So, So she's blind, but she uses her bugs to see anyway. They realize Coil is Thomas Calvert. And then Taylor goes to meet with the Travelers, and they're all just hanging out in their base, just chilling and everything. And he's like, yeah, I'll let Dinah go. They go to meet with Thomas Calvert on the rooftop, and Dinah show up, and then she grab her hand, and she boop, out of there.
And then we go into a very good chapter. This was for a long time my favorite action chapter in Worm, where Taylor has to escape the burning building and take out the Coil guards.
This is one of this is what I if Taylor has her crowning moment of badassery in the story where she's proved to me how badass she can be, this is it.
I'd say this is her solo badass moment.
She's also blind. She's also recently blind.
She's blind. She got shot in the fucking sternum. The building is on fire. It's surrounded by people with machine guns and a chain link fence, and she gets out.
She learned her costume was bulletproof.
Yeah.
So the entire time that this starts happening in this, because Coil just revealed his plan to get the Travelers out of the city too, and it's it would be dangerous, but they will escape. And I'm the entire time that Taylor's trying to escape from this building, he keeps yelling something very specific. Don't use the grenades. And I'm like, is this part of his plan, or is he actually trying to kill Taylor? And I'm just I can't tell. I honestly don't know.
I think the answer is yes, he was trying to kill Taylor.
Implication is that the universe in which you shoot grenades at Taylor is the universe in which you lose.
Yeah.
So he didn't do it.
Yeah, but she pulled the grenades anyway.
Yeah.
I think that's why he was grenades are easily counterable when she has her powers.
Yeah. So, we also got the Marquise interlude in this with some more Amy. And, oh my God. I don't know what Amy learns in this chapter.
Yeah. The entire end of this chapter is crazy because first we show up at the end of a conversation she just finished having where she is kind of implying that she just figured out what powers are and how they work, but we just missed her explanation. And she's like, I really need to let people know about this. People have to know what's going on. So they're like, oh, well, if you go in your cell and talk, Dragon will hear you. And so she does it. And then we go up into the sky and the Simurgh, which we have not seen up to this point, scrambles her message so Dragon will not
intentionally.
Yeah.
I was like, did the Simurgh do this intentionally?
Hell yeah.
Because it's like, oh, it went slightly off track to go out of its way to do this, and I'm like, I'm actually gonna go reread that one because I need to reread the end.
The entire end of that chapter, I'm like, oh my god, no.
Yeah. So Taylor gets shot, fights on. The Undertriders try to trick Coil, but then he sees it. But then like Coil was like, aha, I know how to trick Tattletale's powers, but then Tattletale was like, I have the high ground and I have the entire time.
Daddy has money.
What do you think about that? Like, I went on record as saying that I do not like how Coil is defeated by Tattletale off screen getting more money than him.
So Tattletale knew, like, there were parts where Tattletale knew about that, and I liked her. Like, you go back and think about it, whenever they robbed the bank, she went off on her own.
Right.
She was doing her own thing, and like that was set up, and I don't hate it because Coil did just hire a bunch of mercenaries that didn't really care about anything except money. Like,
they flip so easy though.
Like Flicky Boy. Well, no, they've been flipping, you know, because like she had the only thing she had at her disposal at her lair were her military people. You know, like that's a lot of like networking right there. And yeah, I didn't hate it. I was like, you know what?
The real crowning moment though of this finale is Taylor killing Coil. It is a wonderful scene.
Yes, this is, I imagine the entire screen turned black and they had red silhouettes. Ooh. And then, like, there was blood coming out the back of his head.
And then, pretty much immediately, so, like y'all said, Coil's been the long-running threat ever since, like, Arc 7. So we just finished him off. So it's like, where do we go from here? And then as soon as you have that thought, it's like, hey, potentially Endbringer level threat just...
Her name is Noelle, so why don't we learn a little bit about her in a very short arc?
You know what? We've been doing this about 40 minutes now.
Yes, Tyler, we have.
Willer wanted it to be 20.
You know what? This is good.
This is really good, though.
Tyler hasn't finished the Echidna arc yet, so
I'm gonna save it.
Yeah,
I'll talk about it next week.
We don't want to talk about the Travelers because now we went this far and you're gonna blue ball me on the Travelers.
I will spend another 30 minutes talking about the Travelers.
So good, we'll save it.
I go, yo, no interlude at the end of this, and then I go,
oh,
17 is the interlude.
Time for some esports.
Yeah. I made a meme for this, the domino meme.
I might take some notes so I don't forget my feelings because they're all very fresh. I've read 17 through 19 this week.
This arc, I want your purest feelings.
Ugh.
Anywho,
we should talk about it right now and just decide what we post.
Do you want to?
They're very fresh.
We'll remove Monster Hunter. It's fine. Go.
Okay. Oh my god, this is a great interlude because like this is like most interludes that you get to hype up, you're getting the character names, you're getting the name drops, and you're like trying to be like, oh, who's this? Who's that? Who's this person? And then they're like, all right. And then he pulls out like a bunch of laptops and it's like, oh, he's a tinker. That's not who I thought that was. And then it's like, oh, they all boot up. Get in the game. Esports.
They're doing Clash, Tyler. They're playing Clash one weekend and then they just end up in an alternate world. Oh.
All of 17 was just a
and Tyler,
huge
I think you'll be glad to know, as a game designer, that this like hypothetical esport that they play, Wildbow has like fully fleshed out what the game is and how it works and like what the model for it in online is and stuff like that.
Oh no, I completely feel that vibe from this. It seems like something really complicated, like if you've ever watched Parks and Rec, like the Cones of Dunshire, like esque. And that's what I get from this. It seems like something just overly complicated that he's trying to like make the next D&D or something.
What do you think about all of the Travelers now after knowing their entire journey in this world?
Their relationship with each other makes more sense now.
Yeah.
Because like it's like, yo, why can't you trust each other at all? Why
does
who's the sun girl? Marissa, what's her name?
Yeah. Marissa is Sundancer.
So like Sundancer, she's like, Skitter, I hope I never see you again. And it's like, or no, Genesis is saying that.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, why? Like, y'all been through so much. Why?
So there's stuff like all of them not trusting Trickster because Klaus took charge when they landed and lied about, like, him and Genesis knew they were in another world for a good solid 3 chapters before they tell the rest. He manipulates them all.
He tried. He didn't manipulate anyone.
That's the thing.
Tried.
I feel like it was like a solid mix of manipulating and genuine trying.
Oh yeah, but okay, you look at Genesis and she knows too, and she didn't tell anyone. So it's like he's not in that boat by himself.
I side with, like, Klaus is kind of shitty when he's manipulating Noelle, and I don't like, he's kind of gaslighting her, and he's like kind of like, don't say that you want to break up with me unless you really like. He's playing all these mind games. So I feel like Klaus and Noelle, he's a fuckboy. But Klaus, in relation to what they do when they land in Earth Bet, I think is really relatable, and I honestly think that he had the best intentions in mind. He's just kind of unaware of how people perceive him sometimes.
Yeah, he's young. They're all young, and
fuck Cody, right? I mean,
yeah, I asked her what happened to him, and it turns out he's still alive, and I'm like, God damn it!
No, we left off with Accord taking him.
Yeah, and he's probably still alive and gonna come back, and I'm very upset about that.
I mean, probably, bitch, but we don't know.
I checked the wiki. I had to like get some visual like stat. Like I've been checking the wiki intermittently because I want some visual.
You really
like
should.
I want some visual fan art with like what what the descriptions are.
You should ask me and Bradley for fan art and not ever check that wiki.
I haven't been spoiled too much. But yeah, so we get the Simurgh and whatever it's doing, and Jess knows about the Simurgh, and Jess knows immediately that they're in the other dimension. Like, she knows immediately because she's like, the Simurgh is not from this dimension.
Yeah, she was the most up to date with like the other world's hero politics and all that.
Yeah, so they all start to like, you get the Simurgh's powers, they escape to the building, and we get the monsters being dumped in the city, and it's like, I don't know what the Simurgh built. It seems like a dimensional gateway, but
yeah,
I don't know still, and I like the mystery that surrounds that because Jess keeps this like reiterating, she's not a tinkerer. She's not a tinkerer.
Yeah.
And he's like, then how does she build that? And he's like, I don't know, but she's not a tinkerer. That's not what she is.
The Simurgh is mysterious, and Bradley pointed out to me, there's all these moments in this arc where Kraus does something without the book acknowledging it. Like, when he's leaving the room where he found the briefcases, he doesn't mention picking it up, but in a couple of scenes, he has it in his hands.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the Simurgh manipulating him into doing actions, and we're not really. It's subconscious, and it's written in a way where it's just like it's a surprise to us as well.
Yeah, and I think if I go back and reread that and like have that forethought in mind, it leads up to when we get the first realization of him doing things subconsciously is when he drinks the first vial.
Yeah,
like he just says, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do it." You know, like here we go. Kraus killing the bird was really weird. Like, and it shows like his personality because it's like he thinks, "Oh, this bird is suffering. I'm doing it for the bird."
Bradley, did you have insight on the bird?
Well, he was just putting it out of its misery.
Yeah,
it was bashing its head. But the interesting thing about that scene, and I don't think this is an original thought. I think I might have got it from the We've Got Worm podcast where. In that scene, he sees that this bird has gone crazy, and it's bashing its head against the wall, hurting itself. And he's like, man, that's terrifying. Like, it's really scary to think what an intelligent being with opposable thumbs could do. And then, without having any other thoughts, he immediately picks up a knife.
So, thinking about this, so they get, they start to take some of their powers, and I realize now, in this battle that I'm currently reading, they all experience memories. Everybody starts to have those experienced memories where it just triggers them into an angry state. By the Simurgh. And in this battle I'm in, you also have Echidna experiencing those same memories, and she goes into this unconscious state and she wakes up. Mm-hmm. Same thing happens to every other character in this arc, and I'm like, any one of them were set up to become the Echidna. Like, any one of them, because like they were all targeted with those memories of anger, and like they all go into these subconscious like fits, you know?
Yeah, and so I guess one thing we didn't talk about because we were too focused on Brian and his refrigerator experience is that while he's in there, Bonesaw for the first time brings up the idea of what she calls passengers, where she's like, there's a lot of stuff powers kind of do on their own without you having to think about it. And Taylor's noticed this too. I think back in her fight against Oni, Lee, and Lung, she's like, oh, I totally forgot that I told my bugs to gather these bags of money. So Bonesaw's like, yeah, there's this thing I call the passenger that's kind of, you know, it might be its own thing doing work in the background. And in Noelle's interlude, we see her, you know, kind of struggling with her passenger.
Mm-hmm. And then they have the second trigger event, which like I feel like maybe is the trigger event for the passenger, maybe. So it's like now the passenger is brought to the forefront. I don't know.
Let's close out 17 with the chapter where time has passed and they're all heroes now properly.
Yeah,
I really like
boys.
How like Noelle's situation's very scary. She was really well built up this arc, and now you feel really bad for her because her life is over.
They give her half the vial, and I'm sitting here just like, I'm pretty sure in the Cauldron interlude with Alexandria, she's like, drink the whole thing or whatever.
Yeah, she's like, not only is she like, okay, you know, like drink the whole thing, you know, it's safer that way. They also, the Battery had to go through months of like psychological testing to see if she was stable enough to use these. And these teenagers who are infighting and under the influence of something that makes you go crazy.
Yeah, and I'm just like, Travelers got screwed over, man, because they were not gonna be, and I sit there and I'm like, wow, they were never gonna be able to form any type of attachment to that world ever.
Yeah, that's another thing. Right now they have to start over here. Even Mars is like, my mom sucks, but I kind of miss just being there.
Yeah, like even if they like went like full Buddhist monk, try to just appreciate even natural things that maybe occurred, they still like, this isn't for me though.
Yeah, and the Traveler should go full Buddhist monk. They would be happier this way.
Queen.
The way that 17 ends with Klaus is like, Noelle, I did it. I found someone that can finally help us. There's some hope, and Noelle gets a glimmer of hope for the first time in their lives. And then Klaus wakes up, and he's like, what the fuck happened? And he looks over, and their one hope, Coil, is now a piece of flesh on the ground being eaten by seagulls. That is my single favorite moment in Worm, I think. It is crushing, and I love it.
So he wakes up, but is this from
when Ballistic knocked him out?
Is this from when Ballistic knocked him out, or did he go unconscious the entire time, like the Simurgh effect, and his passenger has just been taking the reins the entire time?
Oh fuck!
Oh, that's a deep pull. I'm gonna say it's
because knocked him out, but you can hold on to that.
You can hold that out.
Okay.
Cool thing about Arc 17, Wildbow has like this kind of big repository of a bunch of different first drafts of like Worm, where he would write the first chapter or a first arc, and so he has like a bunch of these first drafts, like the name of the draft, and he'll say like, oh, this chapter, Circus was originally going to be the main character or Worm, or like, oh, it was going to follow Fault Line's crew, or oh, it was going to follow this person. And on one of the drafts, he got to it, and he didn't actually post the chapter. He's like, in this draft, the Travelers were the main characters, and the first arc was, I mean, it was just arc 17, but written worse. So arc 17 could have been the first arc of the story, and you know what? I would have been
fascinating.
I would have been pretty cool with that because the Travelers are fucking awesome.
We're gonna cut it here.
I just saw the title of a chapter that completely spoiled this entire thing for me.
Oh yeah, what's it called?
Chrysalis.
Chrysalis.
Oh, that's nothing.
That's nothing.
Okay, I hope not.
No, you're
all right.
fine.
17 was good, boys.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for joining my speedy worm talk.
Second Ride returns.
Yeah, I'm still in it.
Please join us next podcast as Tyler finishes Worm. All right, we're done. We're done. No more Worm. Goodbye. Hey Joe, how you feeling, buddy?
Well, I'm getting over the flu, but I'm feeling much better now.
That's good.
I have $46 in Apple Cash. Holy shit!
Wow.
What the fuck?
Maybe you can buy episodes of Steven Universe Future since you're watching that and you're there now.
Oh, I don't have to buy them. I just get them with my Hulu.
Okay, talk about Steven Universe. It's a
all right, I want Steven Universe because I ended up listening to like most of the soundtrack on my car ride to school. I'm just like, I guess I'll just watch this.
Yeah, that weird. How did you get into that?
I was just like, I want to listen to the Steven Universe theme song because I like it.
It's got a good fucking soundtrack.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh look, there's the full theme song right here. I forgot to put it on repeat one song only, so I was like, well, fuck, I'll just listen to everything. And then I heard the Cookie Cat song and
Cookie Cat
song and Drive My Van to Your Heart. I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll watch the show now.
Dude, Drive My Van into Your Heart.
Classic.
Hot song. It needs to be longer. So I think for Steven Universe, I don't think I enjoyed it as much as the two of you did.
For sure. Through it at least.
I did blaze through. It was pretty easy to blaze through, like you said.
Tell us how much you hated it, Joe.
So I give Steven Universe a 3 out of 5.
Which
is precisely the number of seasons I actually really enjoyed.
3 out of 5.
Yeah. I think the first 3 seasons of Steven Universe are really good. Especially I think they're very wholesome. They make me feel warm and fuzzy when I watch them. I think there's some great character arcs, predominantly with Peridot, who is probably the strongest developed character throughout the entirety of the series.
Wow, bold claim. Just shitting on Garnet and Pearl like that and Amethyst.
They're well developed too, but Garnet and Pearl, yeah. The thing is, the 3 of them, they kind of start off good, and then Peridot starts off on the negative side of thing, and then she eventually comes onto the full other side. But it's kind of one of those things where there's much great character moments in the show, and the show does a really, really, really good job of demonstrating relationships and healthy relationships, unhealthy relationships, what causes them, what fixes them, and all this other kind of stuff. I think the show did a great job in portraying relationships and how they're dealt and how they're done with through something that isn't just it's done very well. I think that's the strongest point of the show is when you are focusing on the relationships of characters between each other.
Yeah, it's definitely I'd say it's the biggest strength of Steven Universe.
Yeah, for sure. Because there's an episode where Pearl, that sticks out for me is when Pearl goes and what does Steven find? Steven finds something. I think it might have been the sword. It might have been something else. But Pearl's like, oh, I can show you this whole dungeon where Rose and I would hide all of our stuff, and Steven's like, oh, I've already been there. And then she has this mental breakdown because she realizes that Rose didn't tell her everything.
Yeah. I believe that's in season 2, right?
Yeah, it's in one of the earlier seasons because I think it's Lion 2. It's Lion 3 direct straight to video. I think. So the biggest thing about the show that there are some episodes that do that within the time constraint are really, really well and are very solid and fleshed out. But there's some that just want to be longer or could have been part of like the B plot of a 30-minute show. Does that make sense?
So
like
you're
I just
saying
want
the 11-minute time span hurts the show.
It does for me. Like there's an episode that sticks out in my mind that really makes this the point. Is Greg is talking to Steven about I don't remember why he was having this conversation with Steven, why he's telling the story, but basically Greg's at Vidalia's house and he's changing Steven's diaper and the Gems go over to visit Steven for the first time and then they kidnap him.
Oh yeah, they kidnap him.
And I was just like, and then like they literally drive a block. It's like, well, I guess we can't do anything. And then like learn their lesson all of like a single drive. I'm just like, I would have really liked to see this dynamic, like because this is the first time we look at the Gems like post Rose Quartz, but before Steven's an actual like human being. So they really have to. This is them starting to realize what a human is and what the gravity of the situation is. And it really only it's really short. You're just like I would have just liked them to kind of dick around with Baby Steven a little bit more to see like.
I think the trade-off to that is you get a higher quantity of character beats, but they're not as long per beat.
Yeah.
You know? Like you get to explore a wide array because there's so many short episodes. But like you said, there won't be a 30-minute episode focusing on that particular character beat.
And then there are like some of the characters that only get like 2 episodes. Like Bismuth shows up for 1 episode, it's like 30 minutes, and then she's gone for the rest of the season. It doesn't show up until the end of like season 5.
Now that being said, that Bismuth episode pretty strong.
It's pretty strong. Let's see. I'm trying to think what else there is.
So you didn't like seasons 4 and 5. I will say that I like season 5 a lot, but season 4 I would definitely say is the weakest of the 5 seasons.
I think season 4 is the weakest for me too, mainly because I literally can't remember anything about it other than Aquamarine and Topaz at the very end.
Yeah,
it's like the only thing I can remember.
It has Steven's Republican uncle, which is
that's
like
also a really good episode.
It's like a weird but cool episode. And then it has season 4 is the one where Peridot is learning her magnet powers early on, and it has the Amethyst and Steven fusing stuff, doesn't it? Or is that late 3?
No, that's in 4. It's definitely in 4 because they do it right.
It still had its strong points, but yeah, there's a lot of forgettable stuff.
So Peridot is one of my favorite characters in the show, and I think actually was my favorite until the movie. But I wonder if the reason I like Peridot so much is I was stuck with her for so long. Because when I first started watching the show, the most recent episode that had come out was like a few after we first met Peridot. So like I would watch it and then I'd have to wait for like a few weeks and then I'd get one new episode. So I was like, Peridot's like the
Joe is so blessed that he got to watch the whole show.
See, so that's kind of the other thing too, is that you can definitely tell by season 3 and by the end of season 3, season 4 and 5, they've really felt like they need to wrap things up because season 1, 2, and 3 really has that shonen progression and pacing to it.
Yeah.
Where Peridot's this long kind of villain, and then eventually things happen. She changes her ways. Very Vegeta arc or
just
whatever.
Kind of wrap the show up. They're like, all right, let's.
Yeah, and so you don't really have. That's the other thing about the show that took a big negative. Is like you have all these characters, but they don't all get the equal amount of time within the show. Like I mentioned Bismuth, but Bismuth is kind of like
that's okay, whatever. It's hardly a main character until Future.
Yeah, but yeah, she's more in the future. But like for example, Lapis is one that doesn't get a lot of screen time. Like she literally comes and goes a lot in the show.
I feel like we got a healthy amount of Lapis.
I feel like post 2nd or 3rd season, we don't get a lot more of the villagers other than Lars.
Man. A shit ton of Lars.
We get a shit ton.
Surprising, like I cannot believe that we had season 5 Lars plots still happening.
We had like 3 arcs with just Lars in it.
It's nuts.
We don't get I think there's just so many characters and so many different things to explore. It's just they're not so like there are 3 big things that out of fan services show that I really wanted. One of them was I really wanted each pairing of Steven and the Gems to have their own fusion episode, like Amethyst.
Oh, okay.
that's a big kind of like I feel like I was robbed from that moment because
I think people would agree with you.
Fusion.
Yeah, because it's just like, oh well, we forgot to show you these. Here they are, the last episode, and you're good to go. Like, cool.
I didn't mind because then you get Obsidian. It's like, oh fuck every other fusion.
Well, but like at the same, yeah. The other one being is that we don't get a Paragon Lapis fusion, which is fucking highway robbery.
They are the two who need to fuse the most, man.
I don't think Lapis should fuse with anyone, TBH.
Lapis.
I think that goes against maybe...
Well, she's like traumatized by
But the thing is, like, so that's one of my favorite arcs is the whole Jasper and Lapis arc, and like Jasper is basically an unhealthy relationship, an unhealthy like partner essentially. And there's that episode where Lapis is like, I miss her, even though she was terrible for me. Like that's such a good way to like express an unhealthy relationship to kids, just people in general.
Yeah.
To like, but that would have made it better point for Lapis and Paradox Fuse because it makes Lapis grow in that sense of that she's grown the ability to connect with somebody.
Well, who knows? We're getting another 2 to 3 to 4 future episodes.
We're getting another 10 episodes.
Okay, that's a healthy amount of time. Maybe we'll get something.
Maybe. So the biggest I think controversial statement I made to y'all was that I did not like that Pink and Rose Quartz were the same person.
That's the best.
This was funny when Joe told us this because, you know, he was talking about Pink, and then he's like, guys, I have a controversial statement. And me and Will were like, there's no way. It's probably not.
I've heard it all. Like, I've literally heard it all, but I don't think I've heard thatness. I've heard people hate Rose or they hate Pink.
Yeah, I didn't think Joe was going to say this. I thought he was going to say controversial statement. Pink is kind of a bad
or like controversial statement. The ending wrapped up too fast. I was like, that's not controversial.
And what actually Joe said, I was like, wow, that is controversial.
I think it's just the problem with it is that this whole time you're kind of alluded to that Rose Quartz was not a perfect person, and that a big part of reason why she wants Steven to exist is because she realizes she can't change, but Steven can because Steven's a human being. That's kind of like the message I was getting from that, because she has that whole moment when she has a video camera and she's like, you can change. That's what's so great about you. You can be a different person entirely. Like that's even the fucking movie where he's like, I have the power to change. Like that's his whole thing. So it's kind of weird because then she like goes through this whole change from going from Pink to Rose. But then I also feel like it's not as interesting when it turns out that your mom the one bad thing she did really didn't actually happen. So it doesn't feel like there's a lot more weight in what she sacrificed.
She did way worse. The plot twist is she was worse than you could have imagined.
Oh, yeah.
That she was Pink?
You do understand that Pink is the whole reason the gems even never came to Earth. And the whole reason why the Earth is in danger is because of Pink. So Rose is fighting the battle that she started, and now she leaves, and she leaves all this karma on Steven. It's just Pact. Pact is just Steven Universe. It's great.
There you go. Man, I didn't even think about it.
I get that, but it just didn't resonate with me as I think it did with all.
Yeah.
Because the idea to me for Steven was he is the person that can get along with everybody and connect with everybody and bring everybody together. Rose Quartz was the person that had to rebel against everybody, essentially, in the whole gem society.
I mean, she also brought the crystal gems together, so she had her...
Right, she did, but the whole point was that she wasn't able to bring everybody together. She wasn't able to go the full distance that Steven is able to go. Does that make sense? Because it to me, the whole Pink being Rose Quartz or whatever just makes Pink seem like a dumb bitch. That's about it.
But she is, and the show is acknowledging that.
Right, but like even of a dumber bitch. I feel like it would have been better. It just was like, and I should mention, I went to this show fully well aware of that plot twist as well. And I was just like, okay, I want to see how this kind of transitions and see how it clicks. And it just didn't really click to me. Like there's great foreshadowing leading up to it, but it doesn't seem like, I don't know, like the reason that Pink had to become Rose Quartz is because the Diamonds wouldn't listen to her. It just seems like she's just a little kid, which is also the point, but it doesn't click as well to me as I think as it does with y'all. Like I really didn't enjoy it as much.
That's fine.
Yeah,
we can move on and talk about the movie real quick if you want. Did you
the
like
movie's
it?
okay.
Yeah.
I give it a 2.5 out of 5.
Stay.
Once
Spinel
again,
grew on me, but the first half of the movie where Spinel is annoying and they're just redoing all the Gems arcs, wasn't a fan of that. But the second half of the movie, as soon as Steg shows up, that movie's fucking bomb.
Spinel.
Steg?
I love her.
Steg is Greg and Steven.
Oh yeah.
I really liked the message of the movie because it wasn't something I was initially expecting from Steven Universe, where, you know, Steven usually is very mindful of everyone and how they're feeling, and does his best to get them to work through, you know, whatever's troubling them. And, you know, we don't necessarily see... he does try with Spinel, but
his focus is on the Gems.
Yeah, you know, his focus is on the Gems. And at first I was like, wow, that's kind of fucked up. But then, you know, and like, Willer kind of brought it up to me. He can't do it. No person can take responsibility for everyone.
The one thing I really like Spinel is that Spinel is the great thing about Spinel is by the end of it, she realizes like how wrong she is and how unhealthy she was behaving, even kind of towards Pink, because she was overly obsessive over this one person. Like that's the whole point. The movie has the same problem I have with the show, other than like you said, with them having to like remember everything. Like we've already done this, could we not? it's my least favorite trope about like series to movies is that to do that character regression. But like I just wanted to be longer and to like dive into more deep details about like Spinel's relationship and letting us see more of like and how she realizes that she is, by her being obsessive, that's what causes the damage, because that's the point, is that she's trying to have all of this attention on herself. She needs to learn that she can't do that because it hurts everyone else in the end. She does learn. It's just
you want more.
Once again very quick.
Joe just wants Steven Universe to be 12 seasons with a 2-part movie.
Not even. I just want Steven Universe that be like 30 minutes. Like I've been enjoying Future a lot more because I think another thing that season 5 lacked that the other seasons have is there's a lot less of the personal like relationship development that Steven Universe is like really good at. I feel there's a lot more just like
there's those 4 episodes after the Gems find out about Rose that are some of the best.
That one's good. Where like Ruby goes to be a cowboy and everything.
Lonely Rider. Ain't lonely no more.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, these are good. That's what I want. So like, there's an episode in Steven Universe Future where he deals with Pink Diamond's previous Pearl, which I really liked.
That was fucking great.
That's a great episode.
All the pearls are so cute, and I love them.
They're good.
I want them to be
real.
Future has been pretty solid from what I've watched. I think you're ahead of me.
I've caught up. There's an episode that you haven't caught up yet late that I also really like. So like the big theme about Future I'm realizing is that Steven wants himself to change, but he doesn't want everyone else to change. He doesn't want everything else to like progress.
A big thing has been, you know, so Steven has really helped a lot of people get to where they are now. And he's kind of, you know, been this uniting factor. But now, as we're kind of getting further on in the future, he's starting to realize that people don't necessarily need him. They are kind of able to find their way. They've all grown up in their own ways, and
and
that's true. There's that episode where some Gems want to do what they were built to do. They just enjoy it.
There's another episode later that I think I partly spoiled for you by accident, but like it demonstrates really well like what the show is today. I don't know how far you're caught up, Bradley.
I don't think I've watched the most recent one.
Bradley's ahead of me by 2, and then I think you're ahead of both of us potentially. I stopped at the Lapisus episode. That's the last thing I could find on Amazon.
Yeah. There's I think it's the one after that. Are you after that one, Brad? Do you remember?
Yeah, I think I did the one after that.
Is that the one where there's the concert on the beach?
Yes.
With Sadie? Okay, so that's the episode where I was just like, okay, this is what the feature is talking about. Like,
yeah, I was like, okay, we know what Steven's arc is going to be going forward.
I think a big part of what I've been getting out of Future is this idea that Steven has completed the mission, and it's about time that people stop relying on him as heavily, and he just gets to enjoy life.
I think
he's still too involved, and I want the show to end with him just getting to be a normal kid for a prolonged amount of time and not.
Yeah.
His whole life, he's been having to deal with this fallout of what his mother's done.
For about 3 years.
Let him be a boy.
But yeah, that's definitely like I can't remember the last episode because I think I put it on and I fell asleep to it, but I'll have to rewatch it. But I'm enjoying Future a lot more because it's demonstrating once again those different relationships you can have with people and how healthy and unhealthy they are. Which I'm like, okay, this is really good compared to season 5, where it's just like lore dump everything. I'm just like, this doesn't. Whatever. However, I do like the Ace Attorney episode with the whatever they're called.
Ooh, that was so good with the Zircons. That episode rocks. Huh?
Funny.
One of them was literally Phoenix Wright.
Before I started Steven Universe Future, Willer described it to me like the Dragon Ball Z of Steven Universe, and I was like, okay, time skip, check, and then I saw Steven got a Super Saiyan transformation.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, it is DBZ.
I think my favorite Future episode is the one where the gems are like trying to kind of bond with him and give him a little like he's so busy and they just want to spend some time with him. And then even Pearl joins in with the Steven tag.
Dude, Steven tag.
Oh, that one.
Y'all, let's play Steven tag.
And then they have the Smash Bros. And then they have the Smash Bros. Like new challenger shows up in the thing when they fuse.
Oh, like to me, Steven Universe is at its strongest when it's about those 4 core gems, which is why the episode "The Test" is like probably my favorite.
The Test is
where Steven is showing maturity and taking a situation, it's bottling in a situation to make the gems happy.
About the Test, I think to this day, Steven, never told the gems that he like saw through their.
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessary. The whole point was
perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah, it's sweet.
And then it's on Ava reference, which is even better.
Congratulations. We should talk about that someday.
Oh yeah, we should. We need to watch Into Ava though. Yeah. I feel like
is Cast working yet?
If we can probably do Mega Stream because we just Meta Stream.
Well,
it's on Netflix.
Fun fact: Discord now has live again their streamability of anything you want to on your desktop.
But does everyone get audio? That was the problem that we run into.
They do get audio.
We need to try this out immediately. What are your closing thoughts on Steven Universe? 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5. That's about it.
Here we are in the future. Steven Universe future.
All I know is this. I've been wanting Discord to bring that shit back. So here's what I'm thinking.
We're ending the podcast now. How are we ending this, boys? What y'all got for me?
Sing us a pretty melody.
Would you rather be a fireman, a waterman, a windman, or a grassman?
Waterman.
Rubberman.
Rubberman. Oh.
That's all I got.
All right.
Water elementalist are my favorites, so I would be a waterman.
I'd rather be fireman. No, no, I want to be a windman.
Okay.
Tyler sent me a screen cap, and he's like, "This is my favorite. It's my favorite quote in the book so far." And it's just the part where Scapegoat's like, "She's fucking blind."
That's been my favorite bit so far. Is just people realizing Taylor's blind.
Tyler, you're not Taylor. What's your elemental?
I'm just whenever that happened, I'm like, man, I forgot our main character went blind like 3 arcs ago.
You know what? I'd probably be an earthbender.
Dude.
I'm very straightforward with people. And there's a lot of flexible things you can do with earth, like you could turn it into sand, you can make glass out of it, you can turn it into diamond.
I had a dream last
magma.
time I was an earthbender, and it was fucking cool.
It's a lot better than the dreams I had the other night.
Oh fuck.
Well, thank you for joining us on the Roundabout Cast. Until next time, folks.
Audi 5000.